Hello, everybody. We are today in the studio live with Marco Rountree. We're hoping for him to join. Hola, Marco. 1 second. We are very excited to hear a little bit about your work. I don't know if you want to tell a little bit about your living situation. All the artists have been doing that.
So first I start with this situation, you say?
Yeah. No, your living situation. If you're in your house, if this is traditionally your studio, do you usually work in your house, or have things changed with the new restrictions?
Yeah, I'm at my house. I'm at my place. I have a studio that is near my place in Mexico City, but right now I'm in my apartment. And, I'm working here, and it's good. It has really good light, and it's okay to adapt as a studio, so no complaints.
That's great. That's good. We're happy to hear that you're safe and healthy. Situation in, well, everywhere, but in Mexico, I know it's ramping up a little bit. So we sending the best to the city, Ciudad de Mexico. Yes. And so I don't know if you want to start commenting. I mean, there's a few projects that he wanted to share with us. I don't know if there's one specifically you want to share with us.
Yes, I was thinking to talk about Principal, a show that I did 1 year ago in a museum here in Mexico City that it's called Anahuacalli. That it's in the south of the city, and it was made by Diego Rivera, Juan O'Gorman, and also Diego Rivera's daughter, Ruth. She was an architect. And I'm gonna basically, talk about that and try to accommodate it. So if people is interesting to know about my work, I can talk about this show specifically, but trying to explain more about my thoughts and my practice in a way.
Okay.
You want me to start?
Sure, absolutely. Sí, claro. Arranquemos y I think it's wonderful to be able to talk about something different than the current situation, to talk a little bit about art, practice, ideas. Much more fun. Marco, let me know if you want me to swipe the images and show something else. I can also show it in the computer if you'd rather. I don't think I can get rid of my own image, which is a little bit annoying. Trying to see if I can move it. So I think I'm going to instead show them here so that our audiences don't need to be watching at my face all the time.
No worries, it's okay. I give you that drawing as first image just to address that my practice. I totally consider it that I'm just drawing. I really like drawing, and drawing it's a wonderful thing for me because it's the beginning of something. If you write a book, if you print a book, you write the letters. If you make a house, you draw the house. If you have an idea, you write it or draw it. Usually people that paint before they make the drawing, before they make the final painting. So for me, I really love drawing because it gives me a lot of freedom. And in that way, I can just have an excuse to work, basically. So here, it's just one drawing that I did 3 years ago. It's just different figures, handmade, and then some geometry that I made with masking tape and then spray painting. So that's the reason that it's really well delimited geography. So we go to the next image if you want, and then
sure.
the beginning.
Were these, can I ask you something? These were drawings that you were thinking, were conceiving this project specifically, or these were some like sketches that you were doing that brought you to make this project?
The way that I work is that usually I'm just doing stuff that I want to see, to be like, oh, I want to make these figures or practice this or that. And so this drawing is just exercises, and for sure I was doing some related work with pre-Hispanic figures, and that's the reason I copy with my line the figures just as fun, and then put the geometry on top. But it's not a specific project. It's just like a drawing, like an exercise.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
okay, that's very interesting to have in mind because of what the project ended up being. Let me go to the next one. Let's see if I can open it like this.
Yeah, that's it's the patio of the museum that I was talking about, that it's called Anahuacalli. Mm-hmm. It's a sculpture that is basically just a yellow metal classroom bench that they are typical here in Mexico. I don't know if in Latin America or in the US they have that shape, but it's like the common metal chair for school, and it's just painted with industrial paint in yellow, like a very specific yellow that it's used here in Mexico a lot. And it has this umbrella made of palm on top of it, because the main museum, the museum, the Anahuacalli, one of the the first ideas of Diego Rivera when he projected the museum, that it was going to be just like a crazy studio, also a place for keeping his pre-Hispanic collection, and also his studio, those functions. He thought that it would have like a crazy palm ceiling at the beginning. It's not clear then if O'Gorman, the architect or something, then they changed the plan, and of course it's not palm, the final result, but it was going to be like that. So I was just trying to make a
reference.
Like just trying to see palm in that space, to see how it was gonna be with all the lava rock. I have to say that this building, it's made only by lava rock, piedra volcánica, like almost entirely, all of it. And when Diego started to build it, it was in the late years of Diego. So I think in the middle of the project, Diego Rivera died. And then Juan O'Gorman, his architect friend, finished the project. And it's not very clear how the development of the project, but it seems that O'Gorman changed a lot of Diego's first idea of the museum. The ground floor was made entirely by Diego's idea, and then the other part of the museum was without Diego. So it's a mix between Diego and Juan O'Gorman, but it's fabulous space. And then just with the bench, there's a thing that I made for books, shelf.
A bookshelf.
Yeah, a bookshelf. It's covered with a Mexican traditional fabric that we use to clean the floors, and it has lava rocks on top of it. And the reason of the whole this sculpture and the whole show, it was the show was called Escuela de Ciencias y Artesanías del Volcán Xitle. It was School of Science and Handcraft of the Xitle volcano. All this rock comes from this volcano that was in Mexico City, the Xitle, that I don't remember the year that it exploded, but a lot of the south of the city is covered with this rock. So a lot of buildings are made with this beautiful lava rock of the volcano. And the reason that I named the show as a school, it was when Diego Rivera bought the land, at the same time they were doing the Ciudad Universitaria, and Pedregal, that it's an important architectural area here in Mexico City. And he had like a crazy idea or wish or I don't know, like utopic thing to have a big city of arts with schools and stuff, that it was going to be all united in the south. So he had this wish, utopia, to make like a crazy city school of arts for a lot kind of arts and also for handcrafted art, like artesanías. I don't know if that's the name in English. Anyways.
Yeah, no. You can say like craft or like folk objects. But yeah, okay. So it's fantastic. Okay, let me see. Let me put the next one. And let's see if I can open them all. It'll be easier.
Sure. I'm sweating so much, sorry.
But yes. Or not. Or I'm doing like very low tech, one by one. Let's just do that. It'll be easy.
So okay. The idea of the show that in my mind it was to reproduce or to make a utopian school again in this space. I thought that the teachers of the school were gonna be frogs, ranas. That Diego Rivera, a lot of people physically, they made the joke, or he also himself called him Sapo, that it's like a family of the frog.
It's basically like the large frog.
Yeah, it's really similar. So it was just like this, and also these frogs, they are, I think worldwide, but in Mexico they love frogs for gardening, you know?
Yes.
Like in the place that you buy the plant containers, they have these beautiful frog-shaped plant containers, and I just decided that they were going to be the teachers of the school. So they just have like some sculptures on top of them, and we plant cactus from the same museum, because also other thing that I have to say that people that don't know this space is that it has like a huge garden. And one of the ideas also, Diego, when it started everything as a city of arts, was to grow a lot of food, a lot of good food, of vegetables. So it has a huge garden. So this cactus comes from that garden. It's just the teachers. And if you want, we go to the next image. It's just the beginning.
Hold on. Here we go.
Yeah, it's okay. This it's a pre-Hispanic figure from the collection of Diego Rivera. And basically I just, on the back, it's also other thing that I have to say about this project is that I really like to play with things that I don't like in the spaces. So, for example, the museum, it has a very weird museography because it has changed through the years. And I don't know in which year someone decided to put like a plain wall, so you can see this sculpture. Like,
oh wow!
To emphasize it, which I think it was really like not necessary, because of course the museum it's made of rock and that's the intention.
Yeah.
So I decided to use the plain wall that they did at some point, some year, and I just did this. It's paint over the wall with these figures. That it's also very important thing in the whole show and in the project. There was a friend of Diego Rivera. His name was Fito Best. And he made a very important thing in Mexico. He was very tight with public education, and he developed like a book of for Mexico. Well, not for Mexicans. For the kids in Mexico in the public education. to learn how to draw through 7 elements.
Qué lindo.
That he investigated like a lot of cultures, and his final conclusion was that all these cultures around the world, their drawings and stuff, it was made through these elements, that it's basically line, circle, zigzag, I don't know the name in English, spiral.
Spiral, yeah.
Of course. Well, it's 7, and you can look for it. It's a very good thing. It's called Método de Dibujo, the Phyto Best. Oh, thank you so much. It's like
lovely.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that I'm not sure if this is still going on in public school in Mexico, but it began in 1923. I went to school from 1985 to 1985 I entered school, and when I was a kid, and I learned it. Like it's I don't know if it's still going on in the schools, but it's funny because not a lot of people know that it's a whole investigation and a beautiful project of this artist, Fito Best. So anyways, Fito Best was really good friends with Diego. So in this whole idea of, again, the city of arts and schools, that it's an amazing idea. I think Fito Best was super important.
And these symbols are the symbols that he determines in his project, in his system.
Yeah, it's amazing symbols, but yeah, like I mean, it's just not like it's not that he invented. Of course, it's just like this.
Of course, that he registered.
Yeah, I repeat some of them. The next image.
Yes, a little recap for those of you. I saw a lot of people just showing. Marco Rountree here, amazing artist from Mexico, is sharing with us a recent exhibition that he did at a museum founded by Diego Rivera, the Museo Anagua Cali. I'm always afraid to pronounce this word. Yeah, which was designed by him, John Gorman. Basically, I mean, he's sharing with us some images of that exhibition he did there. When was the show, Marco?
February 2019.
Perfect. Okay. So sorry, you were saying about this image now. Oops. Sorry.
Yeah, the next image. Also, other thing that was really, really beautiful about the project is that the museum was open to make a combination of my installations with the space. So, for example, here they let me go inside the vitrina. That again, it's those things that the museum was made, so it wouldn't have to have glass vitrinas. But of course, I don't know, maybe someone stole something. I don't know what at some point or something. But a lot of pieces are with glass. That it's supposed that at the beginning it was not like that, but whatever. So here in this glass that it has these ceramics, there's some tortillas. That when I bought, I paint with the spray paint, and then they dry and make that weird shape, and it's just floating tortillas, making a conversation.
That's amazing.
Vessels of ceramic.
But did you intervene in the ceramic display? Like, did you change the way it was originally?
No, this one no, but
okay.
I think they would let me do it. They were really open for me to experiment. So yeah, in this vitrine
really
I
nice.
move them, but yeah, I don't know. Like they were really nice. Then if you want, we go to the next image. But it's
sorry.
So that one, it's a little bit far away. I don't know if you can do zoom.
Yeah, let me do a zoom. Like, I hate the system in which this image is. Okay, I'm gonna go back. The quality of the photos a little bit worse, but we are going to be seeing at least the real artwork, which is what we're here to see. So I think if I do this, then we'll be able to see it. Right. And now, one second.
Thanks, Aimé. So sorry.
No, please. Here, much better, right?
Yeah, perfect. So here we have a beautiful furniture part of the museography that Diego Rivera did, and again it has plexiglass, which totally it's insane, but I don't know, like it has it. So in this case, I made like a crazy geometry drawing with a vinyl. What's the name in English?
Vinyl, with
Yeah,
vinyl. Yeah.
just with color vinyl cut in geometry shapes, making like a crazy configuration, and just like a playful, weird intervention.
There we go.
Yeah, so good. Thank you
It's
so
in
much.
plexiglass. It's actually like plexiglass.
Yeah,
More than
Yeah.
vinyl. We call this plexiglass.
yeah, it's vinyl over plexiglass, and it's this.
I see. So this is not painting, but this is like crafted like a collage that you did on
Exactly.
plexiglass.
Yeah,
This is amazing. Now I see. Okay.
yeah.
And was this plexiglass that you added there, or was this the plexiglass that was part of the museum display?
No, the plexiglass is there. It's those kind of things that I think at some moment bureaucratic decisions totally ruin the architecture and the main idea. And they have this plexiglass on this beautiful furniture that it shouldn't be there. So again, it's I like to have conversations with the things that I think they are not good. So it's one example of that intervention. If you want,
would you say that in that regard your intervention is somehow like a correction of what you're seeing?
No. I wish it would be like a correction. No, it's more like it's more this idea that I think you have to adapt.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's that, because it's just like, oh, it's very sad that they did that. So for me, it was just better to take advantage or to try to use it. So good. Also, can I show you in the camera something?
Of course, yeah. You can change and people will see it.
The way that I sometimes that I work, it's kind of funny. I take photos of the spaces that I'm gonna do things with the telephone, and then just print them in black and white, like really bad quality. And then I can make drawings. And here it's, I'm going to show you the image of the museum, because I'm so stupid that I didn't give you an image for the presentation.
Please, no problem. I was actually, that was something I was trying to do also.
But the image, it has like an intervention of me that it's not true. But
that's great. So that's the building. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. This is the building. Diego Rivera finished this floor, and then the other floor was finished by her daughter Ruth and Juan O'Gorman. And the thing that I was telling you is that this it changed the final shape, but the ceiling in Diego's plan, it was gonna be palm. I mean cement, but covered with palm, con palma. So it was gonna be like a huge, crazy pyramid house. Anyways, so yeah, that's the space, because I didn't show it.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, should I show the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, let me zoom out. Much better.
That's the studio space of Diego, that it has some of his bocetos, how it's called in English?
Sketches.
Some of the sketches, I don't remember.
So people can see them.
For which mural it was, but anyways, the space is huge. It's all these. It's from here until here. It's all this inside. It's these big windows. The studio of Diego, and also other thing that it's important to say, in Diego first project, there was a lot of rock, obviously, but there was no glass. The air and the water there was no window, like.
Okay.
They were like there was the shape of the windows, but not without glass. Of course, everybody told him that he was crazy and it was not functional. Other thing that is really important about this space, that for me is particularly beautiful, is that in that time, Diego was one of the first persons in Mexico to focus on organic architecture and trying to say that the materials of the place and these things, it was really important, and the architecture should go that direction. And that's the reason that he, like all Anahuacalli, is made with lava rock. And the beautiful thing is that when it started, Juan O'Gorman was not a big fan of this. I think he was really into functional architecture. And then at the end of the project, I don't know how many years later or what happened, but O'Gorman totally flexed himself, and he finished saying that functional architecture, it's better organic architecture, to be more connected with nature in architectural speaking than the materials and functionalism and all that. So I think Anahuacalli is a very important thing in that kind of story.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm sorry. So this is just celosia that I have no idea how to say that word in English.
Wow, I don't know either. Maybe somebody who's watching us knows how to say that.
But it's this wall in architecture. I think it's just a wall that you see through, or like has like a weird, just like a visual thing that it's separate things. I think I really don't know the stories of celosias per se, but it's just this huge thing made with material for geometric material to make drawings and stuff, reglas and compasses, and I really don't know the name.
Okay, yeah. Like the tools that you use for
for
geometrical measuring.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, exactly. And it's just paint on top of these a lot of figures, and they are just collocated in a wood skeleton. So it's just a big celosia, making a reference of the title of the escuela. If you want, we go to the next. Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna start moving a little bit faster because I want to make sure that we get to the video and the next project. No, please, this is amazing. I love this light. Okay, I've been waiting to ask you, what is this light? It's so strange.
It's just these really bad lights that they sell for making parties.
That's what I thought. I love it.
That usually also they put them all the time in little stores or like mercados or like the bosses or like really common, crazy, popular stuff. And this sculptor, it's a young guy that it's supposed that he's represent like a very, very young, healthy, I don't remember which sculptor, but he's just like a little curved. It's really funny sculptor, and from the back of him, it's this crazy light that it's going out, and it was just a crazy way to mix the generations together, like to put the super antique collection with this weird, crazy idea of lights. But basically, I was just having fun. Like it's not, it has not like a deep concept or anything.
No, I think it's really fun. I think it's really fun, and it also feel like it adds to certain like popular like rereadings of the Prehispanic
it's also
culture.
It was also the idea to try to put the things that are in museums. The objects are very. They have like a lot of you say, that you cannot touch. You have to be super respectful and like.
Absolutely, you have to. So, you are desacralizing the museum objects, and I think that's something wonderful that you do when you include the tortilla, when you include the frogs. Back to what we were seeing before. Back to what we were seeing before. You do that in the frogs, this desacralization of the museum, but you also do that in, in the party light, And you also do that in the inclusion of the tortillas along with the big prints of like very fancy objects. So I think it's really amazing that you're doing this, like, desacralization of objects. And maybe we can talk about this one also. Sorry, please.
No. This one, it's also again like a funny misography decision that they made a false wall when they have these beautiful rock walls, and they decide to make this, I guess, to put specific pieces. So I just painted it in a pink that it's very common use in Mexico by especially Legorreta, that it was like a how do you say, alumno de Barragan, this famous
An architect, yeah.
Yeah, so we can go to the next one. That was just like a painting.
Yeah, but the choice of colors is very important because here you use the symbolic pink, and then in the first image you show in this project, you're choosing the yellow, which you never comment. You said it was very important in Mexican culture, but I don't know why. What is this yellow referring to?
So good that you mentioned it. I don't know the story where it comes from, but both the pink and the yellow, that it's very common in Mexico. Also another kind of blue. It was used by this amazing painter that I really love. His name was Chucho Reyes.
Okay.
Chucho Reyes was a partner of Barragan. I mean, it was not official because in that time you cannot be gay, I think. I mean you can, but it was super like fucking crazy times. Anyways, so Chucho Reyes and Barragan, they were together, and Chucho Reyes was an amazing painter, and he uses these colors. I don't know where he took them from. I think he took them from Mexican handcraft. He was really in love with Mexican handcraft. And Chucho Reyes, that's the reason that I did the pink and the yellow, because it was used by Chucho Reyes.
But that's what I love, that I mean, just to close up on this project, because I know we're about to go also we have a few more images to show, but, something very important about this project, which I love, is that you are combining the, this idea of the popular folk that has been used by so many, like, intellectuals since modernism in Mexico, but in a very like minimal, revered way. But at the same time, you are, incorporating a version of the popular that has to date not been really, accepted by intelligentsia, which is, again, I'm trying to zoom in into the image and I cannot, but these laser lights, right?
Yeah.
So these laser lights, which is like, it's the same idea of the popular taste and the popular craft in a way that we had, before, even though it's not handmade. But in this case, it's not, cool enough yet. And I love that you're doing this like leveling of class, this class leveling in between the idea of taste in Mexican modernism, which I think is super, super poignant and super provocative.
So I'm happy that you like it. Also, the other thing that I used the pink, it was because Barragan and O'Gorman, they were not like similars at all. I think they were really opposite. I don't know, maybe they were even like, they don't like each other. I have no idea. But I think it was, for me, it was really nice to put Barragan's world mixed with the crazy O'Gorman world. So that's also just anecdote.
That's super cool.
If you want the next image that I...
And I mean, can I tell you something? As an Argentine that has, the distance to not have to have so much respect for Mexican modernism, they're not that different either, like they're different, but like it's the same moment. I mean, it's like the same family. It would be the same class in an art history survey. So, they're amazing, but they're not that different. Okay, next one.
Okay, next one. This is, they were fixing this room And just a little before the show was gonna start, they asked me like, oh, we are seeing that you just make intervention everywhere and you take advantage of everything. Do you want to use this room that we are not ready to open again with the collection? We can give you the glass spaces. And that's the reason there's a door, because the room was closed to the public because they were arranged, and I asked them to leave the door. And the door is covered with this paper that is used to wrap tortillas in Mexico, that is called papel. And it just paint on top of the paper, and then the paper is covering the door. And then there's a little frog in the middle of the room that you cannot see it very good, but that frog, it's from my aunt Gina garden.
Really?
Yeah,
this one. Oh, yeah. That is lovely.
Yeah, I ask that frog because I have to say really fast that my studio, it's on the house of my aunt. So almost every day I go to my aunt's house and I see this frog on the garden. So it was like
you see her every day when you go to work.
Yeah, kind of. She's just nice and funny. She's back at her place. And then the vitrines, you cannot see it very good, but the good thing is that they let me put things in those vitrines. I didn't give you images, but in those vitrines, we did the accommodation of the pre-Hispanic figures of the collection. And also there's sculptures of little frogs that it's the next image, that the little frogs